Hello and welcome to Thrive in 5 and welcome to magnificent Olympic National Park here in Washington State. I recently saw a study that caught my eye in the news. It was published in the American Journal of Epidemiology, a study taking place at London School of Economics and Erasmus University in the Netherlands having to do with the long-term impact of religion upon happiness. And they compared it to volunteering and political activism and continued education. They found that of all of those, only religion contributed to people's long-term happiness. As a matter of fact, some of those other things contributed to their unhappiness. And the publishers of the study were a bit perplexed. They weren't sure did it have to do more with people's just belonging to a group or whether it had to do with the teachings of the religion itself. I'd like to weigh in with my own 2 cents and suggest that they're on the right track, but not quite, you see, because yes, it has to do with belonging, but belonging to much more than just another group of people, rather belonging to a meaningful and purposeful universe. That's the message of religion, because religion teaches that this universe is a creation of a loving and benevolent and caring God who created all of it for mankind, who is much more than just another animal, but really a being with the potential to be slightly less than God themselves. And this is a very, I think, meaningful, powerful, and uplifting message for mankind. Now, you may be asking, secular people do meaningful things too. They want to live purposeful lives, and I would absolutely 100% agree. And I think that's a tribute to how deep down we all know that we are here to be meaningful and purposeful beings. But we can't ignore the messaging that surrounds us. We're bombarded with it. And I think so much of it is really diametrically opposed to the notion of man as a meaningful being. For example, now that we're out here, take environmentalism. Judaism has always had a sophisticated view of the environment and environmentalism, but based upon the notion that this world was created by God to serve as a backdrop, as a stage, so that the drama of man's free will creativity, his struggle to be more than just animal, can take place and be successful. And as a result, there has always been an understanding that the environment is a gift from God and must be treated with concern and care, and animals as well. But when we take a look at the more secular approach to environmentalism, God is removed from the picture. Nature is king, and nature may be awesome, and nature may be beautiful, but nature is also very cold and uncaring. And in such a world, man is just another animal. Yes, maybe a more intelligent and sophisticated animal, but also an animal that takes up much more of the resources than its numbers justify. A greedy animal, an animal that literally threatens the very existence of the planet. And so it's not surprising that from a more secular environmentalist perspective, mankind's importance diminishes, and you find in the more radical side, I think, people who care more about nature and animals than human beings. And it's not surprising, perhaps, that we see in our society more outrage over Cecil the lion than the hundreds of thousands of people dying all over the place all of the time as the result of warfare and crime and whatnot. Yes, every human being deep down knows that we are here to be meaningful and purposeful in our lives. We need it more than life itself. But we can't ignore the messaging of the world that we live in. Judaism has always delivered a powerful message of every human being's preciousness and worth, and I think Rosh Hashanah, more than any other day, delivers that message because it's about judgment. And judgment isn't simply we're going to be punished or we're going to be rewarded for what we do. It's a statement of our meaningfulness. It's a statement of everything we do makes a difference and therefore is worthy of being noticed and judged, and everything we do is impactful, indeed, ultimately, eternally impactful, because we human beings, far from being animals, are actually beings of eternal potential. My blessing to all of us is that we should be impacted by this Rosh Hashanah, and that we should be impacted by this message in particular. We should have a deeper sense of just how important each and every one of our lives is, and just how important it is that we make the most of our lives, because what we do is truly of eternal import. May we all have a wonderful Rosh Hashanah. May we have a wonderful and sweet New Year, and hopefully we'll all be back together for our next Thrive in 5 soon.